Boom shakalaka, what's up, everybody? RK here. Man, with what's been going on with these mass shootings and stuff, I started to think about my story. There's part of my story that I don't usually talk about very often. And so I thought maybe if I share my story, it might be able to help out someone out there who might be dealing with the same kind of issues I was dealing with. So I remember I think it was my eighth grade year in middle school. I was I walked into the bathroom at school, and these guys had just finished beating up a guy into their gang, and and we walked into the bathroom, me and my buddy, and they said, "Hey, do you want to get into our gang too?" And I was like, "Nope," and I was able to squeeze out the door, but they held the door shut and they kept my other friend inside the bathroom there. And I remember at that moment realizing I can't beat these guys in a fight, so I need to come up with a way that I can get back at them when I can't physically beat them. And so I just I went on this path of trying to figure out how I could beat up my bullies. And so I went away as I figured out that if I could learn how to make explosives, that's a way I could get back at them, because I'm not more powerful than them, but a bomb would deal with this problem. So I learned how to make explosives, and I had a plan of how I was going to be able to get back at these guys who hurt me by using these explosives in my school. And not something that I'm proud of, but I had these plans. I had even recruited a group. They were going to help me in my plan to mass murder, a bunch of people in our school. And we had about, I think, 2,500 people in our school. So if my plans would have worked, it would have been pretty devastating. So the summer before this, my stepmom at the time, she looked at me and she said, "Man, this kid's got some problems. He needs Jesus." And she sent me to this church camp up in the mountains. It was the first time I heard the real story about Jesus, that he wasn't a dead guy hanging on the cross anymore. He's actually alive, and since he's alive, you can know him. And, I heard the story and I thought, man, that's way better than what I'm doing in my life right now. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first thing that helped me. The second thing was my mom. I think she looked at me and said, "Man, this kid needs some help too." And so she signed us up for family counseling. And the first counselor that we had, I told him that I was suicidal, and if I had a gun, I would have killed myself. And he was honest, and he looked at me and he said, "Listen," he said, "I'm not qualified to help you, and so one of my colleagues down the hall, he's more qualified to help you out in your situation." So I went to this guy, and first thing, I sat down to talk with this guy, and he looked right at me and he says, "Listen, you're so selfish." He says, "You don't care about anyone but yourself." He says, "You're not thinking about what's going to happen if you kill yourself and how it's going to affect your mom, how it's going to affect your family." He says, "You're only thinking about yourself because you're selfish." And I remember he sat there, and as he was talking, I said, "You know what? This guy is right. I'm just thinking about me. I'm not thinking about anyone else." And so those are the two things that switched my mind to no longer wanting to mass murder people. It was Jesus and having someone talk to me straight and say, look, man, you're not thinking about yourself, or you're only thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about the people that love you. So, man, if you've been bullied and you want, if you're looking for a way to get back at the people who are bullying you, there's other ways to deal with that problem than reacting in violence. So for me, I found my purpose in Jesus and following him and trying to love people the best I could. Now, it also helps to have someone that you could talk to and tell them your problems, what's going on, man. And so for me, that was a professional. My mom sent me to a professional, someone who knew what he was saying. He said the right thing that broke that thing off of me, so I no longer wanted to mass murder people. But For you, maybe it's a friend or a family member, someone that you can confide in. So I fully recommend go to Jesus, go find someone to talk to. That's what helped me, and I think it'll help you too.